Welcome to the Plato Paradigm, a paradigm shift in reading Plato's dialogues. Episode 245, Lysis 220a to d. In order to explain a chain of friendly things which are only really friendly if they end in something really good, Socrates had given as an example a father who values his son above all other things, and only in an emergency when the son has drunk hemlock, as one does, the father then also values wine and the cup in which the wine is, because they will help his son survive the hemlock, or so he thinks. We may wonder what this has to do with friends or being friendly, and now we're going to see that Socrates is using philos not only as friend and friendly, but also as dear. That is to say, we shouldn't really distinguish between the different uses. They are all phila or philoi, depending on the gender. Phila are dear things, philoi dear people. They can be friends, philoi, and philoi can also be friendly. Phila, it's less usual to call things friendly, but we've been doing it so far because we don't want to mess up the appearances of one word. Philos appears so many times in this dialogue, but if we started using different translations for philos, you would get confused, I would get confused. So all I can say here is that we should from now on understand philos as friend, friendly and dear all together. They are all aspects of the same thing, and even if I translate unnaturally as friendly, we may understand it more naturally in English as dear. I will still make the distinction between friend and friendly when philos, is used as a noun, definitely a noun, then it is friend, and when it is used as an adjective, I translate that as friendly. In Greek, again, it doesn't make that much difference, although there is a slight difference between a noun and an adjective. We have the friend of something and being friendly to something. The big difference is whether philon or philos is active or passive. A friend of or someone friendly to is active, but a friend who is dear to someone else is passive. Anyway, let's get back to Socrates, who returns to his main argument about philon or philos. We don't know because he's going to use the genitive here. Ukun kai peritu philu ho autos logos, hosagar famen phila enai hemin heneka philu tinos heteru, remati phainometa legontes auto. Philon deto onti kindunue ekeno auto enai, es ho pasai hautai hai legomenai filiai teleutosin. Kindonue hutos efe echen. So it's the same argument about tophilon. I'm saying it's tophilon and not hophilos here. We don't know because it's genitive. It could be hophilos, but I'm looking ahead to the next line where we have phila, which is neuter plural. Therefore, this is most likely neuter singular, the friendly thing. And as we should know by now, the definite article with an adjective in the neuter singular is a way to denote the idea of something, like to agathon, the good, is goodness. To kalon, the beautiful, is beauty, or the fine. So tophilon, the friendly thing, is the friend, friendship. Anything to do with the word philos, or all particulars denoted by this term. For as many things as we claim to be friendly for the sake of some other friendly, we seem to be saying it in word. In other words, in word only. This is wrong. A friendly thing really happens to be that towards which all these so-called friendships end. It happens to be thus, he said. We would naturally call phila dear things, not friendly things, and the things we call dear, Socrates is saying, aren't really dear in their own right, but only in relation to the thing for which we consider them of value, and that thing is what all the so-called dearnesses end in. Now, I'm saying dearness here for philia, which would normally be friendship. So either we say all the things are friendly only inasmuch as these friendships lead to what we truly value, or we would have to say that all these things are dear only insofar as these dearnesses lead to what we consider really dear to us. Menexenus has no problem with this, so it must be all right. Socrates concludes, Ukun togeto onti philon, u philutinos heneca philon estin. Aleithei. So the really friendly is not friendly for the sake of some friendly thing. True. The ultimate friendly thing here, then, is what is dear. In other words, it is something passive. It does absolutely nothing, but it is valued by someone else. And all of the things contributing to the welfare of this dear thing are not actually friendly, because they don't have this ultimate value to someone. This is a complete reversal of what friendship normally is, in my opinion at least. Given that Menexenus agrees with this, we may begin to assume that this is what Menexenus thinks about philoi, friends or friendly people. He regards a friend as someone dear to him. He doesn't regard himself as a friend in that he contributes to the welfare of anyone else. Tutomende apelactai me philutinos heneca to philon einai. Al arat to agathon estin philon. Emoigedoke. This then has been dispensed with, that the friendly is friendly for the sake of some friendly. But is the good friendly? It seems to me. We may now understand that this formula does not mean that the good is beneficial, but the good is dear. Something is good and dear to someone. This is how Menexenus understands the question. It's worth noting at this point how easily Menexenus is manipulated and moved from one position to another. Socrates had convinced the boys that like was not the friend of like, good was not the friend of good, bad was not the friend of bad, and now Socrates seems to be returning to the conclusion that the neutral is the friend of the good. Arun diato kakonto agathon philetai kai eche hode. So then, because of the bad, the good is loved. And this is in this way. If this still has anything to do with the son who took hemlock, the son would be the good, the hemlock would be the bad, and it's only because of the hemlock that suddenly the father is anxious for the son, and to save his son, other things become considered friendly. Socrates sums it up in this way. E trion onta hon nunde elegomen, agathu kai kaku kai mete agathu mete kaku, ta duo leftheie, todekakon ekpodon apelthoi kai medenos hefaptoito, mete somatos, mete psuches, mete ton allon, hade famen auta kathauta, utekaka enai utek agatha. Ara tote uden an hemin chresimon to agathon, al achreston an gegonos If of the three we were talking about just now, the good, the bad, and the neither good nor bad, two were left, while the bad got out of the way and touched neither body nor soul nor the other things, which we said them in themselves were neither bad nor good, would the good then not be useful to us, but it would become useless? If we apply this to the sun and hemlock example, without the hemlock being there, nothing would be beneficial to anything. The wine is beneficial for the sun in that it is supposed to remove the bad thing, the hemlock. But without the hemlock, the wine wouldn't be useful at all. And if the wine isn't useful, the cup holding the wine wouldn't be useful either. As Socrates goes on to explain, Egar meden hemas et iblaptoi, udenan udemias ophelias de oimetha, kai hutodean tote genoito katadelon, hoti diatokakon tagathon egapomen kai ephilumen, hos pharmakonon tukaku to agathon, todekakon nosema, nosematos de meontos udende pharmaku. For if nothing any longer harms us, we need no benefit at all. And thus it becomes clear that because of the bad, we are fond of and love the good being a sort of remedy for the bad, and the bad is a disease. And when there is no disease, there is no need for a remedy. This recalls the earlier argument, which also showed that the good required no friend, so that the good was not a friend of the good.